No. He's just a couple days. He had his tonsils out. No, I said like Strecco, Juju, and Strecco and Juju. They could be 2 to 6 weeks, just depending. But no, Olsen just a couple days. He just a couple. They had to hold him because he just had his tonsils out, and so hopefully he'll be hopefully by Monday he's out there rolling.
Takeaways from the big weigh-in yesterday. Anybody that stood out to you?
There were a bunch of kids, honestly, that stood out. I could tell that the guys have really bought in. There was a lot of guys that have changed their bodies. A guy like Strozier, he's really, you can just obviously tell he's thicker. How about Cade Klubnik? Yeah, he's 175 pounds when he got here. He's 212 yesterday. He looks great. He'll probably settle out in that 208 range, 209, when he gets through camp. But he's got a great foundation going into camp. And we had a bunch of linemen that looked really, really good. A guy like K Park, man, he looked all. There was a bunch of guys that really jumped out to me, and it's just obvious that they've really been committed. Because again, you don't just show up on a day like that and be elite. You got to do a lot of work to get to that point. And I think our entire team really bought into what they had to do individually to come back and not necessarily be the final version, but the best version of themselves since they've been at Clemson. And, so it's a good group.
Just to clarify, Jay Haynes, what are reasonable expectations for him? Would he be available one day?
Yeah, that's all up to the medical team. He's in green. He and Armand and Ari, and they're, again, all doing great. But I don't know. It just depends on, we got to get out there and get going and get practicing. But he's in green right out of the gate, so that means he's in practice. And it'll be up to the doctors and medical team when they say, hey, he's full go. Could be next week. It could be the first game. Could be game 3. I'd have no idea how these guys are going to, show up and respond. I just know where he's at, and I know that they're in a really good spot. They wouldn't put him in green if he wasn't ready to go. He'd be out there in yellow. So he's in a good spot when it comes to his his return to play protocol. But I don't have anything to do with that, and I have no way of answering that. I have seen nothing on the field with him, but I just know what they say, and those guys are doing great and on their way, and we'll get them back at some point. So they're day to day.
I guess what do you think about the reports weekly? Is that going to simplify things?
We did that. I don't even know what year we did that. We did that somewhere along the way. We did it for a long time. Is that when we stopped doing it, COVID?
It predated me, so I think it was like 16 or 17.
I don't know. There was somewhere, you stay somewhere long enough, it'll come back around, right? It's like short shorts and mullets. You just hang around, they come back. So, I don't know. What is it? Doubtful, probable, out, questionable. It don't really change anything to me. Day to day, we'll figure it out when we get to it. But no, I don't have a problem with it. As long as everybody else is doing that stuff, I don't have a problem with it at all.
We've done game day availability for 5 years.
Yeah, we've always done the game day stuff. So no big deal to me. Just Ross will tell me, and we'll do it in our Thursday staff meeting. I'm sure, like when we do we go over injury stuff every morning. So on Thursdays, I think is that Thursday? So we have to do something on Thursday. So we'll decide, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, no big deal.
What has stood out from Coach Allin over the last 7 months, and what are we going to see this fall that might be a little bit different than what we've seen in the last couple of months?
Same guy every day. He's that's the main thing I would say I've seen. Same guy every day, ton of energy. He's incredibly organized, incredibly passionate about what he does, and I just think he's done an awesome job creating the buy-in with the staff, leading the staff, and just really leading the defense and setting the tone for what it needs to look like. So that's it. He's done a great job, and again, detailed, organized, a ton of energy, and again, just really has led at a high level for us. So it's been exciting to see that, and I think you'll see a lot of consistency, from that group. Certainly got a tough opener. It ain't patty cake right out of the gate, but it's exciting, but I think when it's all said and done, it'll be a staff and a defense that'll be very consistent when the season comes to an end.
What's your take on the nickel Sam position and sort of what you're hoping to see, who you're hoping to see emerge there?
I mean, it all depends. I mean, a lot of that is who you're playing, what does their personnel look like? Are they 12 personnel? Are they 11 personnel? Are they 10 personnel? Is their best receiver a slot guy? I think all of those things dictate, who you put on the field. So I think, offense decides who they're putting out there, and then defensively you got to respond to that. And so I think the main thing for us is making sure we come out of camp with an answer of who's our big nickel, who's our true, we call it Tiger, we call it the Tiger position, who's our kind of every down Tiger, and who's our best cover Tiger, what I would call a true nickel corner, if you will. So I think it just all depends on who you're playing and what to make. But we need answers, and we've got to have some flexibility, and I think that's been something we've talked a lot about in the spring, and they've worked hard on, and we got, the good news is we got, a lot of really good candidates, a lot of good depth, and a lot of options for whatever presents itself to us to be able to game plan appropriately.
Alexander be a every down Tiger?
I wouldn't say he's an every down Tiger. He could, as far as play the position, but no, you're not going to ask him to, play man coverage on Antonio Williams. Again, it all goes back to who's on the field and what you're asking him to do. And then, what are you doing in game plan that week? Are you coverage? Are you a lot of coverage? Are you hot pressures? You're going to play a lot of man that week? Like what's the game plan? I think that again dictates, how you put your personnel on the field.
I guess to expound on Jeremiah, TJ and Peter talk a lot about his work ethic just being here at 5 in the morning, leaving at 8 p.m. How much is he going above and beyond what you would expect?
If everybody worked like Jeremiah Alexander, this would be the easiest job in America. He's unbelievable. And you just pull for a kid like that. Like his commitment is, like here's what's expected. Here he's up here. He's just a phenomenal young man. Great parents. He's a graduate already, and he's got 2 years of eligibility. And I'm excited. I'm so glad he's here. We've got he gives us we needed another veteran guy. We got a lot of young guys. We needed another real veteran guy. Even though he hadn't played a lot, he's had some injuries and stuff. But man, he is just he has truly been committed, and he's been above and beyond in everything that's been asked of him. And so excited to see him get out there and get to work. And we need some depth. We know what we got in Sammy and Wade, obviously. Those guys are proven guys for us here. And man, Jeremiah has done everything he can within his power to give himself the best chance to go compete. Learning a new system, being in elite shape. He's just a grinder, man. The guy wants it, and he's one of those type of people that you really pull for because he's done the work.
Coach, everybody knows about the returning production you have at wide receiver, but guys like Tyler Brown, Cole Turner, who have battled injuries, what are you hoping to see from them in camp? Just
Good health, consistent availability. And I think if we get that from those guys, they'll have consistent production. Really confident guys, really proud of those guys. They've been starters, so they get it. We've got, like I told y'all, we went in the spring with 5 guys that we absolutely know can play winning football as a starter for us. And we came out with 6 because Tristan really kind of jumped into that mix. So love our depth there, and we've got the experience to go with it, which is awesome. You know, this time last year, got guys hurt, new guys getting ready to play, so we're just in a different place. But Cole and Tyler are going to be critical to our success this year. So if you ask me what I'm looking for, they'll do the football part. I just a consistent availability, you know, and just having their best fall camp, you know, and staying healthy.
You said you see Ashton Hampton moving around a lot at different positions over his career. Do you see him this early sticking at corner or being flexible enough to?
Yeah, we'll see. You know, a lot of that depends on, again, who's the best players. You know, we got some questions to answer. Who's the best players? And is it another corner that needs to be on the field? Is it another safety that needs to be on the field? Those are all questions that you figure out as you go through camp. But but as a football player, Ashton can do a lot of things. There's no doubt about it. And we really kind of locked him in at corner last year, and I think that's where he'll start out. And we'll go from there. We'll just see. And again, that's a week-to-week thing. Like, you know, end of the day, you want to get the best players you can on the field. But as far as the longevity of his career, as he goes through his career, not just here, but you know, beyond here, I mean, I think he'll end up playing a lot of positions as he really becomes really confident in the game and just continues to mature as a player. As he's a unique talent.
Cory Gibson, what are the next steps for his progression?
It's kind of what I said, Tyler and Cole, just be out there. You know, last year he was never healthy, so he really couldn't. He just kind of stayed the same all year because he was just kind of he didn't have confidence. He was not healthy. He's just kind of working his way back. Really saw a light come on this spring. It's the first time since he'd gotten here that I actually saw him healthy. And so the next step for him is to, you know, get out there and play with the confidence that he's got to have. And I think to have that confidence, you got to be healthy. And he is. He feels great. He looks great. And he really grew a lot in this offseason as far as just his maturity. So he's just got to go do it. You know, just one day at a time. But he's super talented. We all know that. But this is really the first time that he's the best version of himself since he got here. But this is the first time that I think he's a complete player. There's been something missing since the day he got here. You know, he had knowledge. He wasn't healthy. You know, a lot of stuff. But he's very comfortable. He's healthy. He's so much more knowledgeable. And you know, so now he's just got to show up and do the work every day and at a consistent level. If he does that, he'll be able to compete with anybody.
With a guy like Ian Schieffelin, it's first time out there on the field, I guess. Do you expect him to have a learning curve?
Who was that again?
Ian Schieffelin.
Oh, Chef?
Yeah, do you have a learning curve from basketball going to football for his first place?
Absolutely. He's going to have a huge learning curve. Yeah, especially when Peter Woods runs through his chin strap. You know, he's going to have a quick learning curve when he runs that swap zone and kicks out T.J. Parker. So yeah, I mean, hadn't played football since the 10th grade, so it's been a while. But this is a high level athlete now. This is a highly competitive dude. I'm really proud of him. It's been fun to just kind of watch him blend in and just kind of, you know, you go from a group of about 15 to 125 people and just a lot. There's a lot to manage when you got that many people. And he's done great, man. He's done great. He's bought in. He's gotten stronger. He's really worked hard to give himself the best chance mentally to go compete. You know, I think he'll be fine when it comes to catching the ball and running routes. I think all that stuff will come pretty quick for him. But, you know, he got to take the physical part to it. And so there's definitely going to be a learning curve. There's no doubt about it. But I think he's just who he is will shorten that.
From the spring, at your backup safety spots with Ronan and Ricardo, how close are they to kind of reaching the level to where you kind of trust them or they bridge the gap to getting some playing time in there?
They're all right there. I mean, that's going to be a weekly battle. We got some dudes at safety. I mean, we got some really good football players. They all want to play. They're all very, very competitive. I mean, we got some experience. You know, we didn't move Ronan to safety until, you know, a week and a half before the first game last year. And he played last year, 0 fundamentals, 0 offseason. Everything was receiver. So now he's had a season in the meeting rooms. He's had film study. He's had a spring. He's had offseason. He's had individual work, drill work, et cetera, et cetera. He's just a different guy and really, really talented. Ricardo, same thing. Really, really talented football player. Colin Griffin, you know, doesn't get enough credit. Very steady. He's got a lot of experience, and experience breeds confidence. You know, he's made some plays. I mean, and he's been a good work in progress. Obviously, Khalil has been a big-time player for us. You know, T-Bone has played everywhere and is a great guy, you know, for us as well. So, I mean, it's just a group that, you know, Robert Billings, Colin Webb, we got a lot of guys that are kind of in the mix. Joe Wilkinson was 200 pounds yesterday. He's really, you know, developing. So we got some redshirt freshmen. We got some true freshmen like Keenan, who just got here. And then we got some sophomores and et cetera. It's a good group. It's going to be fun to see. But, you know, I think I'd say we probably got 5 guys going in. I think any of them could start that are really, I think, right there going in. Somebody else may jump in that group, but I think for sure, you know, guys, like we got to play people, and we got to make sure that, you know, when you and I really believe that, like, okay, if it's 50-50, like you just play them, right? Like, I mean, we've had that before. I mean, we had Vic Beasley and Shaq Lawson and Kevin Dodd and Tavares Barnes and Cory Gibson, and we just played them. I mean, like, we could rotate. I don't know, you know. It was really close, but only run one guy out there. But I do think, and I think that's what we have at receiver. And I think that, you know, if it's 70-30, then we got to do a good job of making sure that guy gets that 30. That creates competition, that creates development, that creates morale. And then the cumulative effect of that over the course of the season is important. But I think we've got, you know, a group of guys that maybe they're not all quite 50-50, but, you know, they're 60-40. They're not far off from each other. So it'll be fun competition.
To that point, what's an ideal situation for the running back room? Are you hoping to see a month from now that maybe a guy has separated, or you're perfectly fine with 2 or 3 guys rotating through? Do you find that to be an ideal situation?
I think an ideal situation for me is they all you know, show that they can do it. They all deserve to play. That'd be ideal for me. That we come out of camp going, geez, man, this is really, really hard. That's ideal for me. I really love. I know they're, you know, that's kind of the unknown factor, I guess, but we got some good players, some good guys right there. I think they're gonna do well.
Vic Burley going into year 3. Coach Easton said he took a nice step forward this spring and
He
this
did.
summer.
Yeah, be a redshirt sophomore. You know, he same thing, kind of had some struggles early on, redshirted, missed a bunch of time, injuries, et cetera, and he just hadn't really been able to put it together with any type of consistency. And this spring was really the first time that, like, you just saw it. And we go, okay, there it is. And we saw flashes, and then he was hurt, and then he would be out. He missed a lot of time. And so, you know, he's had a good spring and a good summer. So he's a redshirt sophomore, and he's a guy that we're counting on. We need him to take that next step for us this year. He can do it.